Bienvenidos chicos y chicas, hoy estamos en una entrevista en vídeo muy especial que queríamos presentaros lo antes posible. Hemos estado con muchas ganas y mucho ánimo de enseñaros esto, y es que hoy tenemos el placer de contar con la presencia de Afrojack, un nombre que todo el mundo conocemos, todo el mundo ha escuchado alguna vez en su vida en festivales, en su propia casa, y estamos muy contentos de hostear hoy. Pero hoy tenemos el detalle de que no va a ser Afrojack como tal. Hoy no vamos a hablar con Afrojack, hoy vamos a hablar con Capuchón. Y es que el foco central de la entrevista va a ser ese cambio, ese retorno a su viejo alias y uno de sus temas que ha sacado recientemente. Así que vamos a ponernos al lío.
Hello, Nick. How is everything going?
Everything's going very well. Very busy, but very well. Thank you.
Well, we can consider that being busy nowadays is good news. So we hope you can keep busy.
I'm busy with a lot of things, not DJing, but producing a lot of music, working on a lot of artist development, of course, and business developments also. Corona gave us a lot of time to reflect on the situation and also allowed me to get closer to my team and establish a more steady relationship and really make the path of the future more transparent, more clear.
Well, if we could extract something good from this situation is that we've got a lot of time to plan our things, schedule our plans and our projects and develop them with a slower pace. So that's good news, I could consider.
Yes.
So shall we start with the first question?
Let's do it.
Okay, so the first thing I want to ask you is about your feelings of retaking your old alias, Capuchon. How did it feel to go back to that old alias you had?
Well, it felt like homecoming, of course, because this is what I started at the same time when I started as Afrojack. So it's always been around. And I think the most important thing we learned from getting back to it is that it is really surrounded by the roots, not just the roots in music, but also the roots in the industry. Because like when I perform as Afrojack or we're doing festival shows, etc., it's always a lot of politics. And if you play here, you can't play there. There's exclusivity. When you put out a record, the labels want exclusivity. Very difficult contracts, a lot of bureaucracy, basically. With Capuchon, it's just me, the people, my team, music.
Like when someone starts making music.
No marketing budgets, no managers, no nothing. Just, hey, I like this music. Let's put it out.
Okay, so that has to feel great because as someone like you who has traveled all the world, played a lot of shows, I'm sure you want your intimacy sometimes regarding music. So producing again like Capuchon has to feel like a big relief for yourself, I think.
It does. It's very, like I said, it's very close to my roots and it feels very familiar. And it's very nice to have such a close relationship with the fans because like you start a new Instagram, you start a new social media, you start a new YouTube. So you already know that all the people that are going there, they care because we didn't do paid advertising or anything. So everyone that came there, they came there because they wanted to check it out. Those people are my friends. Like I'm going to talk to them. I want to send them more music.
That's really nice from you. So Carlos, you want to follow?
Okay, so what was the reason behind coming back to work under Capuchon, your first artist name? Maybe you had more time due to Corona?
We were already planning on starting Capuchon this year, but we never had the time to set it up properly. And then when Corona happened, initially we didn't think about this at all. But then later in the summer, we were like, okay, this is the perfect time to get a nice quality recording set, take the time to figure out what we want to do and launch it and actually have the time to, how you say, gouge the reaction from the fans and just enjoy it. Like if I would be touring and my team would be touring and there would be a million things going on, we would never have the time to actually see what is happening with the release, or we wouldn't have the time to care. Now we can actually sit down and play with it and watch it.
Okay, so I'm gonna follow the trail on Capuchon again, and I wanted to ask you if you have any future plan for the immediate future or for long term, if you are planning on releasing more music under Capuchon, or maybe playing new gigs under Capuchon, you're gonna try to complement Capuchon and Afrojack, or what are your plans under that
I
alias?
will I will embrace the first offer for Capuchon because we didn't have any official requests as of yet. So I'm going to be very excited when we get the first one. And then we're going to be releasing music every 5 weeks from January.
Under Capuchon.
Yes.
Oh, that's really nice to hear.
Yes, it's nice for me too because I have a lot of music already laying ready to go, but I also produce a lot of music. And the thing is, when I produce stuff as Afrojack, there's a certain level of success it needs to have, else it's going to look like a failure. So there's a lot of pressure on management and marketing and all the labels when we do an Afrojack release. With Capuchon, there's no pressure, so I can make the most experimental thing and just put it out. That's really nice. Gives a lot of freedom.
As we said before, being Afrojack, I'm sure you're under the scope, maybe 24/7. So
yeah,
working like Capuchon gives you a little bit of freedom. So
and it's also the thing is, it's not just for me. It's not just that I have to carry my own name, but there's also a whole team dependent on me. You know, like there's a lot of people that work for me and with me, and they carry the same flag. They're carrying the Afrojack flag. So when I put out a song like that, they have to look good too. You know, I want them to go outside and like, oh yeah, you hear that song on the radio?
Have you heard this one?
So everything we put out needs to have a proper plan and a proper reaction. And with Capuchon, we're just free to do. I'm free to do whatever the fuck I want, which is amazing.
That's real nice. So Carlos.
Okay, so right now you have been giving a big part of your life to the music industry, but did you think about dedicating yourself to another occupation, maybe at the beginning if DJing and producing didn't work as well?
No, never. I never considered giving my life to anything. I just started with music and I fell in love. But these days I'm really I still love music, of course, and I love DJing and I love working with other producers, but I also love working with people in general. So I definitely took the time during Corona to expand into different businesses, which I can't speak about yet. Maybe one day I'll do an interview as an entrepreneur. But for now, let's just see how that goes. You'll see my name pop up in some things.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the next one. And I want to take back to the past month, concretely the 9th of November, where you played together with Nicky Romero in your show called 2 is 1. Will you guys release any new set anytime soon? Do you expect to work again for something like this? Or
Yeah,
is
so
it
2 is 1 is 2 is 1 is a concept by Ada, which we're going to be taking around the world with their events next year. And this, like 2 is 1 is other people every time. Before it was Armin and Hartwell. This time is me and Nicky. And we're friends. We have a lot of the same hobbies. We have little bit different music styles, but we also have a big part that's overlapping. So we're really going to try to use that to our advantage and create a new experience with 2 is 1. But I can't say too much about that yet because we just started. This was like the first thing we did. And we need some time to go in the studio to prepare together.
We will keep an eye on you on 2 is 1. Carlos?
So, keeping the track on this 2 is 1 that we were talking about, will you keep yourself close to Nicky, working on any new tracks or something like that?
Definitely. We're definitely planning to spend lots of time in the studio, play lots of Call of Duty together, and also make music and try to prepare like a new experience.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the next question that I want to talk about the obvious thing about this year, and it is the pandemic, the COVID-19 issue. And I wanted to know if what impact did it have on you personally and professionally? What feelings do you have about it? I can have a clue with what you said before about you had a lot of time to improve yourself, to go to the studio. And I wanted to ask you more widely, what impact did it have on your figure as a producer and as a person?
Well, first of all, COVID broke the entire music industry. Like the live industry is dead. Even the publishing went down and stuff because there's no commuting traffic listening to radio. No one wants to party on the weekend now, so there's no party music in the weekends. Everything stopped. Yeah, for me personally, like I said, I didn't have a break for 15 years, so it felt nice to have some time, actually wake up and not have to do anything. And yeah, I'm thankful for that, that I've been able to enjoy this time. But I'm ready also to go back to it, and I'm happy when the gigs start again and the industry starts picking up, and not necessarily from my own perspective as a DJ, but from all the people I know within the industry, all the stage managers, all the tour managers, all the logistics managers,
there's a lot of people
all
involved
the
here.
local staff that works the bars, because they also enjoy their job, you know. So for me, that's what I miss. It's the community that I miss. The DJing, whatever, I've been doing that for a long time. I can take another vacation, but I really miss our community.
Yeah, because DJs can actually DJ from their own homes, bring online sets,
exactly.
Also, but I get your point, and there's a lot of people involved here, and we could say that it's an important part of the industry. So, Carlos, if you want to follow.
Yeah. So now that at this point of your career, you have worked with a lot of insane artists, but is there any collaboration or any artist that you would dream work with him that you couldn't, or you really want to do it but it's still not possible, or something like that?
No, everything possible. Basically, you just like in America, you just have to pay the right price for the collab, and outside of that, I'm very happy with the people I work with, and I have a very special collaboration coming out soon. Can't say anything about it yet, but it's this nice Afrojack record, and I just want to work with people that want to work. You know, like when they give me everything with Pitbull, or look at me now with Chris Brown, Lil Wayne, and everyone. It's not like I had to pay someone to please work with me. It's just we were in the studio, they listened to the music, they liked the song, let's do it together. That's like how it comes together. I only want to work like that.
Yes, and at the end, it's not the same song if you're forced to do it than if you just are in the studio and it flows.
Well, like for example, you're in the studio, you make a great song, and then managers usually say, "Oh yeah, let's offer Katy Perry $1 million to feature on it." It's like, that's nice, and I used to work this way. Like these offers happen. I never paid $1 million to anyone, but like, this is how the industry works. But for me, I'm not in a position where I have to. So I love Katy Perry. I would love to work with her, but only if she wants to work too. And it's the same with every artist in the world. I don't want to work with people for a paycheck. I want to work with people for fun. I want the people that I do records with to also represent the record and be proud of the record as we go along.
Okay, so as you have said before, you have been on the track for 15 straight years, and you have traveled the world a lot of times, visited several countries various times. And I would like to know if you have any special moment from all the travels. If you had to choose one special moment from any country you have visited on the past 10, 15 years, would you choose any moment? Would you think about one?
I think the most special time is still my first year being able to DJ in Holland. Back in 2007, when I had my first gigs around Holland, it's like there's nothing better than being able to play in the places where you were on the dance floor and promoters saying, "Oh, you're just a little shit. I'm not going to let you DJ." Now they paid me to DJ. They only paid me 200 euros, but they fucking paid me. So that first year, that felt good. And then everything that happened after that was a nice extra. Like when I started DJing, the only thing I thought about is like, oh, I'd like to play in this club that I go to. I never thought about playing in front of 100,000 people at fucking Tomorrowland or this type of things. Never, ever even occurred. I didn't even know private jets existed. You know? I just wanted to DJ in the club where I was dancing.
going back to the roots. That has to be a special feeling for sure.
It's nice.
I want to ask you again about your travels, but exactly here in Spain. We know you have visited Spain a lot of times, and exactly you have visited Ibiza a lot of times.
I have a house
Ibiza
in
is
Ibiza.
like what? Sorry.
I have a house in Ibiza and a studio.
Oh, so that was one of the parts of the questions I wanted to ask you. If you have ever thought about living in Spain or in Ibiza apart from having the studio.
Yeah, not living full time, but
Mhm.
definitely in the pre-season. Like not in the main season, it's too busy. But outside of the main season, it's amazing. My mom actually lives in Ibiza,
Oh, that's
like
nice.
full time. So I visit a lot in the winter too. I love it. It's very like the Spanish mentality is very relaxed. I like that you guys take a nice big break in the middle of the day because that's when I think you should have a break. You wake up, you work, in the middle of the day, you enjoy the day, and then you go back to work. You work until the evening and you go to sleep. To me, this is the best way to do it. And
Okay.
very, very clear. There's no bullshit. I like that there's no bullshit. In a lot of Western civilizations, there's a lot of bullshit, like political correctness. In Spain, it is how it is. You know, it's nice. It's nice. It's not nice. It's not nice. It's okay.
And that's it. And what part of Spain would you consider that, or is your favorite? Talking about the people, maybe the food, maybe the party.
Ibiza, of course, Barcelona, Valencia, and all the costas from like
Mm.
Lloret de Mar and everything. I like that
Mm.
area too because again, I like the working community. When I started DJing in all these places too, and I love to see all the bar workers, the club managers, the promoters that are walking around with flyers. I used to do that too. So for me, that community is very valuable.
Okay, so thank you so much, Carlos.
You recently released a track on SoundCloud called 2021 with various ideas. Can you tell us any upcoming project for the next year?
Capuchon every 5 weeks from January. And there's some Afrojack singles coming out, and there's some collaborations, and I'm working on some new artists. As always, a lot of stuff going on, and I'm very excited.
Okay, so I wanted to keep the trail on my previous questions and go back to the saying that you have achieved a lot of things, you have played on a lot of festivals, produced really big hits, and so on. But I wanted to know if you have any pending goal that you haven't achieved yet, and you're thinking nowadays, I want to get this one day, no matter if it is now, if it is in 5 years, but I want to get this. Is there any pending goal you have?
No, not really. I wanna make someone else as successful as I've been, like success wise. You know, I believe that I've been very lucky to get my passion turned into success with a very, very competent team and lots of hard work. And I believe that there's a certain strategy to get that right as long as the passion is real. And that's what I'm trying to do with younger artists. So my only goal is to give people the same experiences that I had. I want them to have exactly the same experiences with younger DJs, producers, gamers, entertainers, everyone from all concepts, even cameramen. Like I'm trying to get my cameraman to work for other people so they can see how good he is, because I want him to have a brand as a cameraman. Like why couldn't he be like the Rory Kramer guy, you know? It's like to each their own, but everything is possible. And that's the only thing I still want to prove, that everything is possible, not just for me, but for everyone.
That speaks really nice from you, because not every artist tends to help everyone once they are on the top, because we can consider that you are a top tier artist, and that's a really good gesture from you.
Esta ha sido la entrevista con Afrojack, con Capuchon. Esperamos desde todo el equipo de All Music Spain que la hayáis disfrutado viéndola, y no olvidéis seguirnos en nuestras redes sociales, que allí publicamos todas las noticias, actualizaciones, entrevistas y mucho más. Nos vemos.